this person, his name is Bruce. So, one question before I start. Who has travelled by yourself and you felt unsafe sometimes? Right. So Bruce has a limousine service, there's a driving service. He picks me up at the airport when I travel home. So I live in Brisbane. Who's been to Brisbane? Yes, good. So I live in Brisbane. And so what he does is he meets me at the airport. Sometimes I get home late at night. Sometimes it's dark and I have lots of gear because I'm travelling and running workshops and things. And the reason why I asked Bruce to pick me up is because I sometimes don't feel safe. So I need him to come and meet me at the airport, help me with my gear, make sure I get home, that I can get in the house okay. And I think that he's such a special person. There's a couple of things that I really like about him. The first thing that I like about him is that he's actually a pilot. So he has a plane like this, and what he does is he flies his plane out to rural Australia, and he flies for a charity called Angel Flight. So what they do is they fly out to regional areas in Australia and they pick up children who require non-emergency care. So they have diseases like leukemia and other forms of cancer. And so this not-for-profit doesn't get any money from the government. So the pilots who fly the plane have to pay for their own fuel and their own plane. They fly out, pick up these children and fly them back to cities where there are hospitals. So when he drives to pick me up, that money from driving me, he uses that money to buy the fuel for his plane. Who thinks that's pretty incredible? I think it's incredible. I think he's amazing. But there's another thing that he does really well. He has a chihuahua. The chihuahua is called Harley. And what he does is he dresses Harley up in a nurse's uniform. He puts Harley on the plane. And the children are so excited because they get on the plane and they're so excited, they say, "Where's Harley?" Now, I think that's amazing because, you know, when I get home, I could do lots of things when I'm travelling. I could get in another taxi. I could even park at the airport. But for an extra $20, I work with Bruce. I asked Bruce to pick me up because I know him, because I like him, and I trust him. But the other thing that comes up is that how often, when these children get on this plane, they're so excited, yet they know that they may never see Bruce again. And Bruce knows that he may never see these children ever again. But they are so excited because Harley is on the plane. But how often are we working with clients that we're taking them through an experience of something that they don't particularly sometimes feel like they want to buy? But how can you get them excited? How do you get the Harley experience into your business so that if they're going through a tough time and making tough decisions, that they are excited to see you? And I think we all have that challenge. How do we build our brand? How do we communicate our value so that people can be looking forward to working with us? So there are 3 things that I want to work with you on today. The 3 things are, number 1, how to increase trust and position yourself as the authority that you are. Number 2 is identify the specific gaps that are holding you back in your communication for your business growth. And number 3 are the actions that you need to take to close those gaps. So before I go any further, you'll notice that there are 2 microphones here, and so you are welcome to ask questions today. I'm going to stop at moments throughout the presentation, so if you think of something and you want to go to the microphone, then I will stop in the moments where I'm ready to take your question. So if you want to do that, otherwise I'm happy to do questions. I will also do questions at the end. So feel free to stand if you have a question. Okay, so let's get started with these 3 things. So we live in this world of incredible noise. So we live in this world where the average person is getting 200 emails per day, at least. And then we've shifted from watching 2 hours per day on television to 2 hours per day on social media. And that 2 hours is not in one sitting, it's a little bit here and a little bit there. And then on top of that, so we've got so much noise, and trying to compete for attention is really hard. This is my niece and nephew, Sasha and Luca. Who else has nieces and nephews? Yes, or little ones, children? Maybe you have big ones. When they were born, when your children were born and your nieces and nephews, who bought little booties? You know the little booties? Yes? Who bought those? Okay, so for Sasha and Luca, I bought them domain names. It probably wasn't what they were wanting, but in the future of work, we're going into this future where your name, your reputation, who you are, what I can find out about you online is one of the most valuable assets that you are going to own. And so my fear for them growing up, I know the future of their work and their career and their businesses is going to be built on their name and their reputation. So I'm hoping that maybe one day, maybe they don't need their domain name, but at least I've got it and at least I can protect it to make sure that they protect their brand and their name. So what's changed? And you will have seen this, you already know this. But why does this matter and why has it changed? So you will know this, that between 2008 and 2010, is that you had the increase, between 2008 and 2010, there was an emergence of robo-advice, which you know. And this was off the back of the GFC. So in the financial services industry, there was a loss of trust. Is that people can't do this job, we need to rely on technology to do this. Then in 2013 to 2017, there was a shift of now including all this technology into your practice and sort of starting to go all this other way of new technology. But today, from 2017 to now, it's a balance. So it's a balance between technology and you. And so this is really key to know where we are now, is who you are, your name, who you are being, your personality is the most important thing that you can do to complement and build trust with your clients. Because the question is will humans become more robotic or will robots become more human? So there were 3 things that came out of that last report that I just showed you that I think are absolutely crucial for you today. The first one was around what clients value most, and they said in this report, so this is an EY report from 2017. The first thing that your clients said that they value the most is performance. Does my financial advisor understand my objectives? Number 2, was engagement. Do I have enough touch points with my financial advisor? Do I get to connect with them enough? And number 3 is trust. Can I trust my financial advisor with my financial health? Do they have my best interests at heart? So let's have a look at what we're going to answer today is going to help you to respond to these things for your clients. Because if you don't do this, what happens? If you can't articulate your value, if your clients can't see the unique value that you bring to them, the Bruce that you have in your business, what makes you unique, how you help them, is what happens otherwise is it's like for them being in a supermarket and standing there in the toothpaste section, standing there saying, I don't know which one to buy because I can't tell the difference, so I will just buy the one that's on special. That's right. So what we have to do is make sure that in your customer's mind that they have very clear in what position you hold and the value that you bring to their lives. Because what this is all about, it's all about trust. And we know that if you can build trust, I love this quote from Stephen Covey who says, when the trust account is high, communication is really easy. So all the slides from today are in the MDRT app. You are welcome to download them. So if you need anything in there as well, you can grab them. So let's have a look. This is the model. This is the tool that I've worked with thousands of businesses with this model. And this is, it's super simple, but it should help you to identify the gaps in your business. Let's have a look. So the first key area is that there are people out there who know you. I hope. There are people out there who don't know you. Before today, you didn't know me and I didn't know you. On the other side is there are people out there who don't know what they want. They have no idea that they need insurance. They have no idea that they need income protection insurance. They have no idea that they need disability insurance. And then there are people out there that do know what they want. So I do know that I need a type of business insurance. I need life insurance. So in this first quadrant, I call this quadrant, so there are people out there who know you and know what they want. In this quadrant, I call this direct contact. So you're going to call them and they're going to call you, yes? The next quadrant is there are people out there who know what they want, but they don't know you. So they're either asking their friends, who do you use? Who can you refer me to? Or you have referral partners, yes? Or they are searching, they're doing Google search. The next one, so there are people out there who don't know what they want and they don't know you. Ignorance is bliss. So our goal, your challenge, is to build awareness for them. You've got to get out and find where are these people to help them to realise that this service exists, that these products exist. They have no idea that that's even available or who you are or that you even exist. And the last one, so people who know you and they don't know what they want, this quadrant is educate. So in other words, you have people who are connected to you on social media, yes? So these people are connected to you, but more often than not, they don't know that what you can do can help them. So let's get started. What I am going to do though, with network and search, my experience has been working with clients in the financial services sector is that the network and search quadrant, I find, and particularly for people who are here for MDRT, this is generally something that most people are doing very well. So I won't waste time here. I'm going to focus on the other three, because based on the clients I've seen, this is where the bulk of the opportunity is. So the good news is that this all starts with you. There is not sitting hoping that clients turn up. You are in control. you have the ability to put each of these things I'm going to teach you in place. You do not have to wait. You do not have to, as I said, hope that people will find you. And the best thing is, each of these strategies I'll teach you costs nothing. Does that sound good? Not much is free today. So let's get started. So direct contact. These are people out there, you know them, they know you. These people are on your database, you already have them in your business. And to demonstrate this is, as I said, I live in Brisbane. And I remember it was New Year's Eve in Brisbane. It was a really busy day in the Queen Street Mall in Brisbane. And I'm running down the mall because my fiance Mark was cooking dinner and we had family visiting because it was holidays. So I'm running down the mall and just out of the corner of my eye as I was running, I saw this lady. And I just saw her in the corner of my eye. And if you can you see how frail she is? She was so hunched over. She was about up to here on me. And as I saw her, I thought two things. My first thought was, I'm grateful that Mark is not with me because he's like 6'2" and really tall, and he would never have seen her. She was so tiny and so curled up and frail, he would have easily have knocked her over. The second thing that I remembered at the time was my mum. My mum worked in aged care for 20 years. And I know that my mum's question would be, is why is she out on her own? If you can look, even when you can see how frail she was, so she was shuffling like this. She couldn't even keep her shoes on. If you can see her shoes, they're incredibly unsafe for somebody so elderly. So as I'm running, I thought, okay, I'm late, but I have to go back. So I went back to her and I went up to her and I said, are you okay? And she said, and she looked at me and I said, I can see that you've got lots of bags. She had bags with her. And I said, can I carry something for you? Where are you going? And you could tell she didn't trust me. She was like this with me. And I said, it's okay, I'm here to help. Here's my business card. I showed her my card. I don't know if she could read it. But I said, my name's Jane. And I said, tell me where you're going so I can help you. And with that, she said, oh, I don't want to worry you. And I said, it's no problem. You're not worrying me. Just let me help you. So she gave me her bags and off we went to the food court. It was an incredibly slow walk. When we got to the food court, we sat down. And as I sat down, I said, how was your Christmas? And she said, well, I was sick. And I said, you were sick on Christmas Day? And she said, yes. And I said, so did anybody come to see you? Did a doctor come to see you? Family? And she said, no. And I said, okay. So have you been to see your doctor lately? And she said, no. I said, okay. So after a conversation, what I got from her, I eventually got her to trust me to give me her address, her phone number, and I'd found from her that she had broken 2 bones and she'd had her bag stolen 3 times. So eventually she gave me her details and I contacted aged care. The aged care company came to see her and she's okay. But this is what happens. What happens is in our businesses is that, and we know with people like, this lady's name was Dot. I know from my mum working in aged care, is that people like Dot fall through the system. They fall through the cracks. They get overlooked. People are busy. We're running through the mall. But there are people like Dot who are in our businesses who are struggling, who need help, who need advice, who are thinking about other things that they need help with, but they don't want to worry you. They don't want you to bother. They don't want to put you out. They want your help though, but they just don't want to ask. Yeah? So this is the biggest opportunity that I find when I'm working with people in their businesses, is I find dots in people's businesses every day. And it's the number one opportunity sitting in your business. Because what I can tell you is what the research tells us is that people like Dot spend 47% more than any other customer or any other client. They spend the money if we pay attention, if we care and look after them and be proactive in reaching out to them. So there was an interesting gentleman that I worked with recently. His name is David. He's a financial advisor and he lives in Newcastle, about an hour from here. And I said to him, how do you look after your dots in your business? And he said, that's easy. He said, I do video. I said, video? How do you do that? So he said what he does is he does 5 videos every morning, 2 minutes each. It takes 10 minutes. These videos go off to his clients and I said, why do you do this? And he said, the problem is that I'm trying to keep them up to date. They want information and they want personal connection, but I don't have time to ring every single client. And he said, when I send the videos, he said that I don't even know if they watch them. He said, what I do know is that I get emails, I get referrals of people saying, thank you, I love hearing from you. So the videos kind of look a bit like this. So they have a personal video from him, and it has all his branding, it has all his messaging, things like that. And so they remember who he is, but more than anything, they remember that he cares. So it's interesting, when I work with clients in this quadrant, in the direct contact quadrant, we refer to some research by a gentleman called Robin Dunbar. Robin Dunbar is a social anthropologist. And what he did was he went and looked at, if you look at the tribes in the world, so in Indonesia, China, Brazil, here in Australia, Indigenous tribes, why is it that some tribes have survived, but some have died out? And so his research is around tribes, and his research identifies something called Dunbar's metrics. He identified that for you as the business owner, you are the leader. You are the leader of your tribe. He identified that you need to have 15 people around you. These 15 people are kind of like your advisors, your mentors, people who you trust and who have your best interests at heart. I call them family. I think they're kind of like family. They're important to you. The second group is key. He identified that for you as a leader, you only have enough bandwidth or ability to have attention for enough people. The magic number is 150. So in other words, there are 150 customers in your business. If I was working with you, I would want to know show me your top 150 customers. These are your dots. These are the people who we need to look after and nurture, be proactive, connect, talk. And where do they come from? They come from people who are on your databases, and they come from people on your social media. So people who are following you, people who are connecting with you. So my question to you would be, if you went back to have a look at your business today, is are we building a tribe? Am I leading a tribe and a community of people who have a need? So what we're going to do, AV are going to help me do a poll here. So I want everyone's got their phone out, yes? Okay, what I'd like you to do, we're going to do this interactive session and we're going to work out where are the gaps in your business. So can you please type in the URL? So it's www.menti.com and then the code. The code is 904887. And you'll see a questionnaire or poll come up. And I would like you to answer which one is you. So according to a schedule, how often do you reach out to your clients? So only when there's a specific reason, according to a schedule. So click on which one. What's it looking like? According to a schedule, even if there's no reason. Only if there's a specific reason, rarely or never. All right. Still numbers are going up. All right. So if we look at the data, what this is telling us, it tells us that for those people, if you're reaching out according to a schedule, even if there's no reason, can you please raise your hand? Excellent work. For everybody else, I think you want to buddy with this person. Make that person your friend and ask them, what are they doing? And my challenge to you would be, you want to be in the yellow area. Ooh. Okay, so reach out to your clients, be interested, give them an update, share with them what is happening. My tip for you after being at MDRT is what I would do is share, who's learnt 3 things at MDRT, since at least 3. Okay, next week when you go back to work, I want you to send an email, send a newsletter or something, or do a video, send it to your clients and tell them the 3 things that you learnt at MDRT that will help them. Okay, next one. So that was direct contact. Okay, AV, thank you. We can go to the next slide. Beautiful. Because this quadrant is all about love. You have got to love your clients. You've got to nurture them, look after them. Because it was Seth Godin, I interviewed Seth Godin on my podcast a couple of weeks ago, and he said, it's easier to love a brand when the brand loves you back. Okay, ready for number 2? Yes. Number 2, this quadrant is all about educating your customer. So remember, there are people out there who know you, but they don't understand what you do. They don't know that they need your help. In this quadrant is all about you sharing your knowledge. You have so many years of expertise, stories, experiences that you can share with your market and share with people who know you but don't know that they need your help. In this area, I call this, it could be thought leadership, you might like to call it. I call it edu-marketing. In other words, you're educating, but you're marketing through educating them. And so this gives you really valuable positioning and trust. So let's have a look at an example. This lady, her name is Rachel Burke. She lives here in Sydney, and she has a training business for salespeople. So she teaches salespeople and other business owners how to sell. And she said to me, she said, you know, Jane, I think I'm a good salesperson, but I'm a terrible marketer. And she said, I just need more people. If you can get me more people, I think I can sell more. I just need more people to talk to. I said, okay, let's do that. So what I did was I taught her how to unpack her expertise, how to unpack her knowledge and get it into her social platforms, LinkedIn, Facebook, because she had over 20 years experience in sales and was an excellent salesperson. In the quarter that I did this work with her, what we did was, so I had to teach her how to post content. So posting was used to support Rachel's positioning and create leads. So she had over 9,000% increase in her views, over 7,000 increase in likes and comments, over 2,000 increase in comments on her posts. And that's all great, but unless it means money, it's pointless. So her sales increased by 66% in that one quarter from educating her customers. That would be nice, yes? So how do you do this? Well, I think what you need to know is that it takes 10 pieces of content before somebody will buy from you or will purchase something else from you. If you want to sell or you want to help your customers buy more insurance products or whatever products it might be, they need to hear from you at least 10 times. What we do know is this gentleman wrote this book. His name is Robert Cialdini. He wrote the book Influence, The Psychology of Persuasion. It was written 20 years ago. This book just came out last year, but in his previous book, he said it was 5 to 7 touch points that they needed. Today it's 10. In the next 5 years, we know that it will be 20. So double what we're doing now. The content marketing industry last year was $176 billion industry. Next year, it is a $300 billion industry. It's doubling in 2 years. It's not going anywhere. And I think, when I explain this to people, I think it's a bit like dating. So, many years ago, in 2008, I got divorced and started my life again. And I went and moved in with my best friend. And she said, you know, you should go out with Andrew. He's my friend at work. I think you should see him. I think he's a nice person. And I said, I don't know. I don't know if I'm ready. I don't know if I'm confident. And she said, you're not marrying the guy. Just go. So I said, okay. So I went on this date and he turned up with a backpack on. And I said, oh, have you come from the gym? And he said, no, you never know. It might go all right. So of course I slept with him. I'm joking. No, I didn't. I'm joking. Just testing if you were listening. But this is what happens, doesn't it? We're ready. You know, we've got our backpack on. We're ready to move in with our customer. We're ready to have a relationship. We're ready to start all these things. But that's when we've got a backpack on. But the customer's going, can we have coffee first? So our customers are in fear. They're afraid that things will go wrong, and that's the biggest leverage that we have. But it takes time to build that trust. And so for me, with him, I was afraid. I don't know who you are. I've never met you before. Maybe you will break my heart. Maybe you will hurt me. I don't know. So I need time. I need to get to know you. No backpacks, okay? Okay. So let's have a look. We're going to have a look at the next poll. So Liam's going to help me here. Get your phones out. You ready? Okay, the next question is, I write or share content to educate my connections on social media. If you haven't answered the question already on your phone, please answer, and let's have a look what the response is. So the three responses are, I educate clients across numerous platforms, including social media. I don't engage on social media. And I like and share content. Okay, so here is your opportunity. For those people who are in the green, I educate clients across numerous platforms, including social media. You're sharing original content. Where are my green people? Yes? Okay, excellent. Well done. All of you become friends with the green people. This is the biggest opportunity in your practice for you to share your insights, share your knowledge, position yourself. You have so many years' experience. So my advice would be is the 3 things that you have learnt at MDRT, put these on your social media, share what you have learned. Who did you meet? The fact that you have travelled to here tells your audience that you are the best in the field at what you do. You are the best in the world. You are the best in your game. So share that you are here. You are learning more to come back and help them. Okay. Last one. And if you can do this, Liam's going to help me put it back on the other slide again. Whoops. And I love this quote from Nelson Mandela where he says, education is the most powerful weapon that you can use to change the world. We are all in the business of change, helping people transition, go through difficult times to make sure that they've got what they need. And we have to educate people to help them feel safe. Okay, ready for number 3? Yes? Okay, number 3 is awareness. So remember, this is people out there who don't know you, and they don't know what they want, and they don't know you. They have no idea. They're asleep at the wheel. So this one with awareness is, I want to share this story with you. These people need your help. The challenge is that they don't know it. And you've got to find them. So Sun Super are a company, a superannuation company based in Brisbane. Perhaps you've heard of them. So I have worked with them for some time. In 2014, we had a change of legislation. For those who remembers this, change of legislation and compliance standards here in Australia for self-managed super funds. At the time, I wrote 70 LinkedIn profiles for the financial advisors there. And they were telling me about the change in legislation. And I said, I'm not hearing about this very much. Who would be the person who needs to learn this from you? And they said, it's not just the person who needs to sort out their superannuation, but it's the payroll officer in the organisations that we work with. Okay, so payroll officers in businesses are on LinkedIn. So what I did was I taught them how to run a webinar or a webcast. Has someone run, who's been on a webinar before? Yes? So a webinar, we needed to find payroll officers and we needed to make them aware and educate them then about the change. As a result of we did one webcast. It was one only. And they got 500 new leads, purely just from one webcast. So there were 500 companies that they were able to go out get in front of their employees and tell them and educate them about the change. But we had to go out and find them, and we found them. So in this quadrant, what I always think about with this quadrant is Michael Port. If you read Michael Port's book, it's called Book Yourself Solid. And he talks about you always need to have something to invite people to. So when you meet people, the first time you meet them, they have no awareness of you, no awareness of what you do. One of the things I look for is what is it that you are inviting people to when you meet them? Are you inviting them to a breakfast? Are you inviting them to lunch or with a group, or it could be an information night or a webcast? Something online and offline works really well. So my question then is, how many leads do you need in a year? This is a group of ladies that I work with in their businesses, and we have a goal every year that they need to get 1,000 leads onto their database every year. The KPI or measurement is if you have a business, if you've had a business for 10 years, I'm looking for 10,000 people on that database. Even if they're not all buying, we need to make sure you have a sustainable tribe and community of people of where all your new clients are going to continue to come from. So in their case, is that we make sure they have those 1,000 clients or 1,000 new leads per year, because only about 5 to 10% will work with you. And the reality is that about 90% of a purchasing decision is made before a customer works with you. So they're looking at information, they need to get to know you, you need to take your backpack off and connect at a human level. So let's ask the question on this one. Oops. I'm just going to see if we flip over to our poll. Are you ready, Liam? Okay, can we see it? Okay, so the question on this one is, I reach out to get in front of new ideal clients. So choose your answer. Rarely. I don't know where to find my ideal clients. Occasionally, I know where my ideal clients are and I know how to access them. And the other one is regularly. I have a process to move them through my sales funnel in my business. So just tick which one are you doing? And let's have a look. So we have rarely, I don't know where to find my ideal clients. Regularly, I have a process to move them through the sales funnel. And occasionally, I know where my ideal clients are and I can access them. Let's see. All right, lots of people filling it out. That's fantastic, so that you can see and benchmark. Okay, so the goal is, where are our blue people? Regularly, I have a process and a system. Who are our blue people? Excellent, well done. So everybody's got to be friends with the blue people. Ideally, you want to have a process. You need to have a system, a habit, and routines to get people into your database. If you have something that people can come to, you can invite them to. Have it every week, every month, every quarter. Whatever you need to do, and it's a normal routine, is that you will continue to build those leads. So, and so most of you are doing yellow, which is occasionally. I know where my ideal clients are and I can access them. So that's great. The next thing you need to do is put a routine in place to get those clients to come to you. Invite them to something. Let them come and meet you, connect with you face to face. Okay, so thank you, Liam. I was going to, whoops, all right. So 3 things to recap, and then I'm going to take questions. So if you have questions, now is a good time to head to the microphones. So to recap, first one, set up habits and routines to keep in touch with your top 150 clients. If I look at your database, you should be able to pull them out. You should be able to identify them straight away. Number 2, set up habits and routines to reach out to 20 new clients every day. So, and have something to invite them to. Reach out, find those people that you need to connect with, because they're sitting in awareness and they don't know you, you don't know them. You've got to go and find them. And number 3, I put here share content on social 3 times per week. If you are creating original content, 1 article per week is great. 2 more times. For some of my clients, I make them do it every day, but today I'll be nice. So 3 times per week is a great start. If you can start doing that and start sharing your expertise, share your knowledge, because it's not about you saying, I know everything. It's not that. It's I'm here to help. I'm here to serve. So I'm going to go to the microphones if anybody's got a question. Otherwise, if not, so at the end of what I will do here is I'm going to, when we leave here, we just have to make sure that we head out there. So I will head out through the stage and out into the foyer area from here. So if you have other questions, you want to do photos, bear with me and we'll go out that way. Okay, so I'm going to go to questions. Hello.
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 Hi, Jane.
Hi.
I'm Gan from Bangkok, Thailand.
Thank you. Thanks for
I'm
coming.
impressed with your inspiring presentation.
Thank you.
My questions to you. I'm curious to know how to build trust in the high net worth segment in particular. It seems that these high net worth prospects, they tend to engage with people they know.
Yes.
And it takes some time to build relationships with them.
Yes.
Is there any different techniques to build the trust for this high net worth in particular?
Great question. Thank you for asking. I do a lot of work with high net worth clients. I do a lot of work with family office type people as well. So, great question. This client works off referrals, yes? Because they have low trust. So, the question, so the first, number 1 is, let me ask you, what is the number 1 problem a high net worth client has? What is their problem compared to all other clients?
Time. They have limited time.
Time. So, your job is to write content that is relevant to how high net worth clients can save time in being able to decide what products for them. So if I receive your newsletter, if you and I connect on social media, I should see an article that says how high net worth clients in Thailand can save time with their insurance needs. So my advice to you is start writing content related to that audience. Even if you don't have those clients yet, start, because the referral, they say, oh, it's Michael, yes? What was your name? Sorry? Dan? Gan?
Yeah.
So they say, oh, Gan, I noticed you wrote that article yesterday. Are you working with high net worth clients now?
For some of them.
Yes. So if you write the content, you become known that you work with high net worth clients. So start to write content, and then and it will start. So invite them to something, start to bring them on. If you have 1 or 2 clients, have a dinner, have a meeting, a breakfast. Invite the existing clients you have who are high net worth clients to come and talk, share. They're called your evangelists. Bring in your evangelists. Does that help?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. Another question. Hello.
Hi,
Welcome.
my name's Tom.
Hi, Tom.
From Los Angeles.
Oh, welcome.
I have a question. My wife and I send out hard copy newsletters.
Yes.
As opposed to doing as much social media.
Yes.
Do you have any opinion on comparing social media newsletters versus hard copy newsletters?
Great.
Because I think, I mean, I get so much garbage on email that I don't even look at them, but if
Yes.
it's a hard copy that comes to me in the mail, I actually have it laying around and I can read it whenever I want.
Exactly.
Do you have an opinion which is more effective, or any statistics on that?
Yeah, so it's a great question. One of the things that I would suggest is both. First of all, I want to say well done on doing what we call lumpy mail. Lumpy mail is so underrated, so definitely keep doing your lumpy mail. So what would be interesting to identify, the only thing is if you're sending paper-based, it's hard to get the feedback loop. To give you an example, last year I had a client, so I send a newsletter out every week, and we have a look at the data, who's opening the newsletter. I had one lady who opened her newsletter 27 times. But she had also clicked through to the program that I was delivering 4 times. So I thought, okay, so she's opening the newsletter 27 times. She hasn't bought this particular program, but she's looked at it 4 times. What's going on? So I thought, I'm going to call her. So when I called her, I didn't say, why are you opening my newsletter and not attending my course? It was purely open up a conversation. And I just said, hi Sally, how you going? It's Jane. And she said, oh my God, I can't believe you're ringing me. And I said, how's business? Just ringing to see how you're going. And she said, I've been meaning to call you and I wanted to ask you, I can't go to that course on that date, but I really need help with this, but I don't need to go to a whole course, I don't think. Can you look at this? I don't know if you would work with me on that. And I said, of course. I said, why don't we do something one-on-one, but we just do catch up one morning in a few weeks. You don't have to attend a whole course. She said, would you do that for me? I said, absolutely. So I totally agree at both. The only thing with lumpy mail is that you don't get the feedback loop that you can work with. But keep going is what I would encourage you to do, is see if you can add the other one in. Does that answer your question? Thank you. Hello. Oh, we're over here. Hello.
Hi Jane.
Hello.
Tôi là Thu Hà đến từ Việt Nam. Tôi rất thích cái bài nói của chị và tôi nghe thấy chị nói về cụm từ là định vị bản thân và tôi vô cùng hào hứng với nó. Vậy thì tôi cũng đang ở cái vai trò như cái cô gái mà chị đã nhắc tới và tôi muốn biết là cách thức nào để tôi có thể kết nối và biết cách mà chị đã hướng dẫn cho cô gái kia.
Hi Jen, I'm from Vietnam. Really appreciate your presentation. During your presentation, I heard the word positioning yourself, and it's a key word, and it's important. You know, I myself like the lady you just mentioned. You know, so I want to know how can in what way you help that lady, to access to what she wants or meet her demand, specific demand like that.
Okay.
How to position yourself in such a situation?
Okay, good question. So thank you for your question. To answer your question, positioning comes with education, so teaching. So if you know your ideal client, say for example you specifically want to work with people who need income protection. So if you say, I want to work with that, I want to be positioned as the expert in income protection for small business owners. So you say, I want people to know me in that box, then you educate, so write content. So your newsletter, write articles. So Rachel, the example, is she wrote 2 things. She wrote content that went on social media. That same content went in a newsletter to her database every week. And so educating them. Then they say, oh, you're the expert, you're positioned in that expertise. Does that answer your question?
Tôi đang ở vai trò giống như cô gái mà chị đã nói, là cô ấy cũng có hai vấn đề về chuyên môn, cô cũng làm một công việc khác và cô làm cùng với bảo hiểm nhân thọ nữa. Và tôi cũng là một giáo viên dạy piano, trường hợp của tôi là như vậy. Thì tôi phân khúc ở khách hàng của mình đó là phụ huynh của tôi và họ là những người giàu có. Và tôi muốn biết là làm cách nào để tôi có thể định vị bản thân của mình từ vấn đề chuyên môn đối với cái việc bảo hiểm này.
I'm like the lady that you just mentioned in your example. I have two jobs. Actually, I'm a teacher, piano teacher, and my clients base mostly high net worth clients. So I want to know how can I position myself, with this segment, this specific segment.
So number one is understand the specific problems of high net worth clients. So one is time. The other issues that they have and their biggest concern is legacy. So what is the legacy of this through my generations? So write content about how to preserve their money through generations. Also perhaps it's talking about growth. So sometimes it's preservation of funds, other times it's growth of funds. So for high net worth clients, time, legacy, family, IP, intellectual property perhaps, that could be, and write content about those problems. Then they see, oh, okay, you understand me if I'm your client. Yes?
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, and we are at time. I'll take one more question.
Yeah, one more question.
Hello.
Thank you. Hello, Jane. My name is Wendy, and I'm from Vietnam. And I'm really impressed with the speech, and thank you so much. For three main advices, I think that I will follow number one and number two well. However, with the third one, I just wonder, like, after this speech in MDRT, will you also make a clip about your sharing on your social or like Facebook or something else? And if yes, can you share a little bit about that?
What
Thank
I
you.
will do?
Yes.
Did you say? Oh, okay.
And I just want to listen to the ideas, like how will you make it?
Oh, it's
Yeah.
for you. If you were sharing your content?
Sure.
Yes? Or
For
you
me.
mean me?
Of course. Yeah, Jane would be mentioned in my clip, sure.
Okay, so I'm putting my content on social media.
Yeah, I'm
Yes?
just wondering
That's what you
will
want to know
do
what
it?
I would do? Yes. So for me, my focus is working with people in financial services. I do a lot of work with family office. My positioning, and I work with experts. So the question that my audience has is, can we trust her? Does she teach? So on my social media, you will see today photos of me on stage and presenting. So the platform is positioning. The platform says you are an authority. Do you have a photo of you on a stage?
A lot.
Okay,
Yeah.
number one photo. It's the best photo you can have. Because when you are speaking, when you're presenting, you are auditioning for a position of leadership. And when you show that you're an industry leader, leaders speak on stages. Yes?
What about the clip? I mean the clip.
Oh, videos?
Yeah, do you have any idea about your clip? We'll post on your Facebook.
I did one yesterday. So you've got beautiful Sydney Harbour down there. So I would take advantage of the location. Instead of going home and doing your video on 3 things you learnt, go down to the harbour. You'll go, wow, where is she? It's interesting. James Clear, who wrote the book Atomic Habits, said to become magnetic, you need 2 things. 1, do interesting things. 2, share them publicly. If you do those 2 things, take advantage while you are here. Do a video, go down to the harbour, share what you are learning.
Thank you so much. You were very good. Thank you.
Thank you, my pleasure. Okay, I'm happy to, thanks Michelle. Michelle's going to take me off stage. So what I will do when I leave here, I will go out here into the foyer area. If you want photos, please come. Happy to answer your question as well, if there were other questions that you had.
Yeah, once again, let's give Jane a big round of applause. And ladies and gentlemen, this conclude the section, and thank you for coming, and hope everyone enjoy the rest of the meeting. Thank you.